This is a romance scam story. In the bustling city of Warri, Nigeria, where market women struggle to make ends meet by hustlers in the streets, civil servants working in corporate offices, there also lies HK, where Yahoo boys gather, cluster to make money by running scams, different schemes, advance fee fraud, and everything against the foreign countries. Now, there lived a young man named Efe. His life was a constant battle against poverty and unrealized dreams. He was smart, ambitious, and resourceful, but the weight of his circumstances pressed him down like a heavy stone. His family depended on him. His mother sold fruits by the roadside, and his younger siblings looked up to him as the beacon of hope. Efe dreamed of becoming a successful entrepreneur, of leaving Warri and also exploring the world. His dreams of leaving Warri lived rent-free in his head, but his dreams were cut short by the poor economy. One afternoon, while sitting at a noisy cyber cafe, Efe overheard a conversation that would change the trajectory of his life. Two young men beside him were bragging about how they had scammed foreign women through social media, taking dollars amounting up to $20,000 from them. Their laughter rang in his ears like a siren, and though Efe felt a pang of guilt at the idea, he also felt like this could be the way out of poverty. This could be the answer to his problems. The thought haunted him for days, growing louder as his desperation increased. Finally, morality gave way to necessity, and with trembling fingers, Efe created his first fake social media profile. Efe bought a Facebook account, edited it, and was ready to scam people. They downloaded pictures of handsome white men, fake profile informations, and fake details. He was seeking love. His first target was Roslyn. He adopted a dating format, meeting Roslyn, a white client, a widow in her late 40s from Texas, USA. Roslyn was a kind of woman longing for companionship after years of loneliness. Efe approached her gently. He did not really have a format. He had to figure everything out himself. Sending messages, love bombing the woman, messages filled with warmth and charm. He told her fabricated stories of his struggles and his longing for someone to share a heart with. Over time, Roslyn fell for the man she had believed was Michael Smith, not knowing that it is a local boy from Warri named Efe. Michael Smith is character and catfish, a loving and devoted businessman. Efe exploited her emotions, hinting at a financial trouble and requesting for help. Roslyn, blinded by love, sent him $5,000, believing that she was supporting the man of her dreams. He converted the $5,000 into Bitcoin, and there was no trace. Encouraged by his success, Efe was very happy. Efe now started targeting more women, white women precisely. Next in a scam protocol was Madison, a white woman from Florida. Madison was a nurse in her late 30s from Florida who believed she had found a soulmate. Then came Mrs. Peters, a retired school teacher in her 60s, who found solace in a first fabricated kindness of lies and catfishing. With each victim, Efe became more confident and rich, more cunning and more detached from the consequences of his actions. The money poured in, more dollars. Efe began to live a better life. He bought new clothes, latest iPhones, and even sent money home to his struggling family. He bought a Benz, yet his growing wealth was not satisfying. Efe wanted more. Then Efe met Evelyn. Evelyn was different. At 35 years old, she was a divorced single mother from California, a woman who had seen every part of heartbreak of life. Evelyn had seen a whole lot in her lifetime, different heartbreaks. So therefore, Evelyn was cautious and skeptical, but Efe was persistent day by day. He chipped away her defenses, showering her with love, love bombing her, but at this time, Efe was true with his feelings and intention. Efe showed her affection, love. For months, they exchanged messages and phone calls. Evelyn was found laughing again, falling in love with Efe as well. For the first time in the scam history, a Yahoo boy had fallen in love with his client so deeply that he wanted to be with her. Feeling alive again after many years, Evelyn showed so much love and sent Efe so much money, even though he did not ask. Slowly, she began to trust him. Efe, however, was no longer playing the same game. He had changed. He had disobeyed all the rules of the streets. He had letting love get into his head, even when it was not his fault. Somewhere along the line, he had fallen for her. Efe, at this time, had an HK where he trained other boys to scam. He woke up one day and sent everybody home, said he was no longer interested in training them. They were so sad and weak that Efe had to call them back, giving each of them $5,000 each. Efe's feelings for Evelyn became genuine, and this scared him to death. He was scared of losing his life. He was scared of getting arrested by the FBI when he gets to America. He was scared that the love he is pursuing might later end his life. But he was eager to love, to start a family with Evelyn. He began to see her not as a maga or a client, but as a woman he cared genuinely and deeply for. Evelyn was also growing in love with Efe, but torn between his growing love and lies, Efe found a way to tell her the truth. Efe decided that he wanted a fresh start. For the first time, he revealed his true face to Evelyn, telling Evelyn that he was a black boy living in Warri. Evelyn had broken. She cried. For weeks, they had not communicated or talked. But one day, Evelyn recovered and decided to call Efe back, realizing that Efe in their relationship had not really asked her for money. That was the glimpse of hope. But Efe still lied. His lies was that he had not scammed any other person before. Evelyn forgave Efe and they started dating again. They were happy again. For the first time in his life, he wanted to be honest. With the money he had scammed from the previous victims, Efe bought a ticket to the United States. He imagined a future with Evelyn, a life where he could finally be the man he has always wanted to be. Efe dream after setting up his family, giving his friends and his HK boys money, was to marry a white woman and give birth to beautiful children and live his life, get a green passport. When Efe arrived Florida, Evelyn was waiting for him at the airport. She ran into his arms, her face glowing with joy, happiness, and excitement. Their love was so strong that at this point it was built on truth. Evelyn did not mind that a white catfish person she wanted turned into a black man. She had fallen in love with his sense of humor and everything. She wanted him. Efe felt like he had finally found peace. But peace built on lie is fragile. Unknowingly to him, Evelyn had confided in her best friend, Rosalind. Life is a twist and is a small circle. Rosalind was a former client scammed by Efe. Rosalind had been heartbroken after being scammed by Efe, not knowing that it was Efe, but under the guise of Mr. Smith. Evelyn told Rosalind the whole story and revealed the real face behind the Smith on the dating site. Rosalind was shocked and surprised. She confessed, "This is the same person that scammed me years ago. This is the same account. Could it be that it is the same affair?" Evelyn was shocked and heartbroken, but found a way to defend Efe, that it could have been different scammers using the same profile and name. Rosalind had left, but Efe was on his way to the US. Evelyn was shocked and felt betrayed. He demanded answers. When Efe arrived, Evelyn confronted him. Efe tried to explain, to tell her that he had changed. Evelyn said, "But you said you have not scammed anybody before." Efe was sad and heartbroken, bursted into tears. The weight of his deceit crushed her trust she had for him. Immediately, Evelyn asked Efe to leave her house, leave the United States, else she will call the cops on him and get him locked up in jail. Efe was devastated and heartbroken. The life he had dreamt of, the love he had hoped would redeem him, was gone. Alone in a foreign land, rejected and exposed, he spiraled into despair and depression. The money he had scammed now felt meaningless, a cruel reminder that the life he had destroyed had come back to haunt him. Efe moved into a motel. After begging and begging, writing series of letters, pouring out his heart, he wrote letters to Evelyn, but Evelyn had been so resolute and firm. She did not want him around again. For days, Efe kept writing letters and pleading that Evelyn should forgive him. He wrote letters upon letters, trying his best to seek forgiveness, but none of these letters were replied or responded. He stayed in the hotel for a few more days, begging, trying to reach Evelyn since he could not go to her house again. Evelyn wept upon receiving the letters, but she would not read them. She would not respond either. Efe, after being depressed, committed suicide, took his own life. He couldn't face the shame of going back to his country or the shame for his actions. Upon his death, Evelyn was contacted by the police since Efe had a visitor visa to visit her in the US. She confessed that Efe was a catfish scammer who had come to see her but she realized that he was a scammer and asked him to leave. And she is not aware that he committed suicide. The FBI let Evelyn go. A first story became a cautionary tale, a reminder of how desperation and deceit can destroy lives, including the one seeking escape. It is a story of love, betrayal, and the haunting consequences of the choices we make. Thank you for watching, guys. Please subscribe to our channel for more.